from Brisbane on the 29th of June 1915. And he was headed to the Western Front, so France. So he didn't actually go to Gallipoli, he went straight to France. So I'll start out with the beginning of his letter. Dear Mrs. Worry, which is his mother, I wish to offer you my deepest sympathy in the loss you have sustained through the death of your brave son, Victor. We were the best of pals, and I feel his loss very keenly. Victor died a true soldier's death, and he went under while rallying his men right in front of the enemy's barbed wire encirclements. Had he come through all right, he would have been recommended for the MC, Military Cross. The only posthumous decoration that is granted is the VC, Victoria Cross, and this is only given in very exceptional circumstances. He has, however, been recommended for mention in dispatches. It all happened in an attack we made on the German trenches on the night of 28th of July. He was one of the officers selected to remain behind. But when he was informed of this, he begged to be allowed to go into the charge and asked us to try and manage it for him. So he volunteered to take the place of a married man of his company. I talked the matter over with him, and as he was most anxious to lead his men, he was allowed to go. The NCOs and men of Victor's company who lived through that charge spoke very highly of the bravery he displayed. For the rank and file to speak of their officer in that strain is, I think, the highest praise any officer could earn from his men. I always knew that Victor would act in that way he did when the time came. He was a good officer, one of the best, always cheerful, and his men thought a tremendous lot of him. He was also popular with his brother's officers, in fact. The whole lot of the officers of A Company resembled a happy family, more than anything else. His pal, Captain Boyce, came through the first charge, but died from wounds received in the second charge on the 4th of August. It was a shell that killed poor Victor. Death was instantaneous. No pain was felt. I would have written sooner, only the past 7 weeks have been strenuous ones. And of course, one did not get much opportunity for letter writing. We are now out of the line, thankfully, having a few days well-earned rest behind the trenches. I hope you accept this letter, and with kind regards, your humble servant, Victor Symes Worry. Now, that was written by one of his fellow captains from his company, and to put a bit of timeline on this letter, this was during the Pozieres campaign, which, of course, as you know, Pozieres, part of the soldier settlements out just west of town here, and Pozieres was famously known as to put it simply, a meat grinder. It was one of Australia's worst campaigns, and Victor was one of the many. So that's just a short letter. Very sad, very brutal, but that tells you just what these guys went through. And he was only 19 years old, and that's what he went through. So think of what as you may, but very, very humbling to say the least. So what I'll finish up with is just a short quote. Now this comes from a sort of one of the guys that I look up to as not the perfect soldier, but a soldier who experienced it all and went to almost the highest command possible. And this was a short quote penned by General Douglas MacArthur, who was the Supreme Commander of the Southwest Pacific during World War II. The soldier above all others pray for peace, for it is the soldier we must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war and conflict. And that was spoken by Douglas MacArthur in 1951 in front of Congress, actually. So very potent, a soldier who, Medal of Honor recipient, speaking to a whole bunch of suits in Congress who would have no clue of just what happened to those to so many men. So that's just a little short letter, like I said, gives you a bit of context, makes you realise that what we're living with today, we complain that we have no Wi-Fi, we have our favourite TV shows not being played, whatever. Just think of what these guys went through and what they've done for us. Never forget, unless we forget. Thank you.